Hi guys, this is Sarah from How We Learn. The very first video I did when I started doing this weekly series was talking about alphabet activities for children. So helping kids learn their letter sounds, uppercase, lowercase, all of that. That's what I get asked all the time about on my blog. When I was teaching in the kindergarten classroom, that's what parents really want to know, is how to get these letters into our little ones' minds. In that video, I mentioned that there are actually skills that are more important to be teaching children, and those are called phonological awareness skills. Those skills are directly linked to later reading success, and when children have a strong foundation in these phonological awareness skills, reading flows supernaturally. So my advice to parents, to caregivers, to anyone working with young children is don't worry so much about letters yet. Focus first of all on phonological awareness skills. That's more important. Kids tend to pick up letters nice and quick when they're a little bit older, and phonological awareness skills at first, definitely the way to go. So without further ado, I wanted to share with you the 7 phonological awareness skills for kids. I did write a book all about this back probably 4 years ago now. I decided to write a book about teaching children to read. I'm a reading specialist. I find reading so fascinating, and I love teaching kids to read. So it was logical to write this book for me, but I was having so much trouble because I was starting at the point of teaching kids their letters in the special order that I talked about in the previous video, teaching them their letters, their sounds, and then how it flows right into reading. But as I was writing that book, I was struggling because I was saying, oh, but that will only work if they have this phonological awareness skill. And oh, but I can only talk about that if I've already talked about this. And I realized that the first step for reading is actually phonological awareness. So I needed to start there. When to start these with kids? You can start them kind of when your little ones are about 3 years old, give or take. I am a huge proponent for going very slow. So my model for educating my children at home is we start really slow, we go really slow. I follow their lead. I had one little one that didn't start to actually read until 8. They go at their own pace in my house. Works out really, really well. We make sure that everybody here has a strong foundation in reading and writing and math. And aside from that, we're very much into unit studies and child-led learning. But I do want to make sure my kids have this strong, solid foundation. So we begin with phonological awareness. So there are 7 areas for phonological awareness. They tend to progress sequentially. So it's easiest to start with number 1 and work your way through. Some of these kids will be able to grasp when they're about 3. Others kids won't really be grasping until about grade 1. So keep that in mind. The first one is rhyming. Rhyming is saying a word and choosing another word that has a similar or the same sound ending. So cat rhymes with bat, or hat. Kids progress through this skill in different stages. So the first one is recognizing, do these words rhyme? Cat, hat. Yes, they do. And then recognizing if words do not rhyme. Cat, dog. No, they don't rhyme. They're similar, but they don't rhyme. And then producing the rhyme themselves. So an activity that you can use to practice this is to set up a little ramp in your house. Just use a piece of wood or a piece of cardboard going down the stairs and have 2 items at the bottom, maybe like a fan and a cat. And then have a car on your ramp and say a letter or say a word, like bat. And then have your little one zoom their car down and either try to hit, does bat rhyme with cat or fan? And so they would zoom down and try to hit the cat. It's a fun way to bring play to the skill of rhyming. Can.
Rhymes with fan.
Coat.
Rhymes with goat.
Okay, number 2 is word awareness. So word awareness involves recognizing when a word begins, when it ends. It sounds like a really easy skill, but it's tricky because if you think about it, every day is one word, but every day can be 2 separate words as well. So the way children really develop this skill is with practice, lots of reading, hearing lots and lots of language spoken to them, lots of chances to talk. Again, so this is why it's a skill that we start really young so that it can build over time. So just being aware of this skill is really the way to go. A great way to practice it is to get a bin of blocks and have your child build using a song they're really familiar with. Maybe Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Stars, and they pull out 1 block and say 1 word at a time as they're building their tower. And they see how high they can build their tower using that song, saying 1 word each time
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Okay, skill number 3, syllable awareness. So this one, it's important that your children first have a grasp with word awareness. You practice that one, they really have that down before you introduce syllable awareness, otherwise they're going to start to get confused. So syllable awareness is recognizing how many sounds are within one word. So snowman is 2 syllables, but 1 word. A fun way to practice this one is to empty out the junk drawer and have little stickies on the table with numbers 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 if you have a 4-syllable word. And then have your child pull the item out of the junk drawer and look at it, and maybe it's a flashlight. And they put their hand under their chin and they say it really slow, flashlight. And however many times their hands go down tells them how many syllables there are. So they would take the flashlight and put it in the little column or on the sticky note that says number 2. And they would sort through all the items in that way.
Our sun. Our last duck. Clothespin.
Okay, number 4 is sound identification. So there are 3 stages to this skill. The first one, children will start to develop young, around 3 or 4. The other ones progress later on down the road. Some of the last one more in a grade 1 level than young children. So sound identification is recognizing the sound you hear at the beginning, middle, and end of the word. So the beginning sound comes first. So when we're playing with this skill, we start by the beginning sound. So you might practice this skill by having your little one walk around with a basket and try to pick up everything they can in the house that starts with the sound S. So it's important to note with this phonological awareness, it's all about the sound. So they're not trying to find S words. They don't get, that's not relevant. It's all the auditory. So it's what they're hearing, the sound. They're not yet associating that with the letter S. It doesn't matter yet. It's all the auditory right now. So they might have their basket and walk around trying to find items that start with S, and that's the beginning sound. Then the next skill you would practice is the end sound. Once they really have that, and this is trickier for children to hear, but you might say, okay, let's walk around and try to find items that end with the sound T. So they might walk around and find a stuffed cat. And it's really hard. You'll see it's a real challenge for little ones to do that skill. And then the third, which will come way down the line, is recognizing and hearing the middle sound in words.
Pencil, penguin, pen, plane, pasta, person, pin. Bat, 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 bat.
The one after that is sound blending. So sound segmenting was kind of stretching words apart to hear each sound. Sound blending is pushing the words together so you can read. Really, it's about hearing all the sounds as one so that you can hear a word. A great way to practice sound blending is it's called walk to run. So you say 3 sounds really slow, maybe k, a, t. And you say to your little one, what word might that be? And then you walk a little faster and you say it a little faster. Cat, 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 until they can hear it. And then they call it, oh, it's cat, as soon as they can hear it. So that's sound blending.
Dog, dog, dog.
And finally is deleting sounds. So that's hearing the word cat and saying, okay, what cat be if we took away the k? And they would say at. And then what would cat be if we took away the t? It would be ca. So you can understand that the ending sound is much trickier than the beginning sound. So a great way to practice this is with silly songs. So I'll share with you a little silly song we did when we were helping my Sammy learn this skill. There was a crazy fish, he lost his and became a crazy
S.
There was a crazy
Yay, I did it.
So there you have it. Those are the 7 areas of phonological awareness to work on with your little ones. These skills make sure that your little one is fully set up for reading down the road. There's been lots and lots of studies that link these 7 skills to later reading success, and that, in my mind, is super important, because once a child can learn to read and really critically think about what they're reading and understand what they're reading, then they are set to soar. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.